Mr. Sabawy has moved second reading of Bill 215, an act to proclaim the month of September as Ukrainian Heritage Month. Pursuant to Standing Order 100, the member has 12 minutes for his presentation.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. In his maiden speech to Parliament, Senator Paul Yatsky said, "In Canada, we have the world in miniature. World peace and order could be achieved if the principles of unity in continuing diversity, brotherhood, compromise, and recognition of the freedom and dignity of individuals and nations are honestly applied." Senator Yatsky was a second-generation Canadian of Ukrainian ethnicity. He was nicknamed the father of multiculturalism because he recognized that every group of Canadians, regardless of their race or ethnicity, bring value to our common heritage. Speaker, in fulfillment of this multiculturalism and with the goal of continuing this tradition of respect and diversity, I am happy to rise in the House to put forward the Ukrainian Heritage Month Act of 2024. This bill would, if passed, proclaim September as Ukrainian Heritage Month in Ontario. This would be an opportunity to recognize the amazing accomplishments of Ukrainian Canadians and celebrate Ukrainian culture and heritage. Madam Speaker, Canada and Ukraine have a unique and special relationship. Canada was the first country to formally recognize Ukraine following its independence in 1991. Today, our two countries have strong economic ties and trade, and we are allies in the fight to protect human rights and maintain international peace. Ontario will always stand alongside Ukraine as partner in international peace and prosperity. Ontario is home to over 340,000 people of Ukrainian heritage. Canada as a whole has over 1.2 million. In fact, outside of Ukraine, Canada is home to the second largest diaspora of Ukrainians. A large community of Ukrainian people have settled here because they knew that Ontario is a place of peace, freedom, and opportunity. In turn, Ukrainian Canadians have made significant contributions to our society, and they have made many accomplishments of note. The Ukrainian community in Canada includes philanthropists, religious leaders, business owners, veterans, political figures, and even a Supreme Court justice. Whether in the courtroom or in Parliament or on the beaches of Normandy, Ukrainian Canadians have fought for our rights and freedoms. From rural farms to the big cities, Ukrainian Canadians worked hard, built businesses, and strengthened our economy. Through community organizations, non-for-profit, and religious institutions, Ukrainian Canadians built strong bonds with local communities and lent a helping hand to those in need. There is much more that could be said about the successes and accomplishments of Ontario's Ukrainian community. But most importantly, they have simplified the promise of Canada. Canada was and is a multicultural community where we embrace our differences and where everyone deserves a safe, free, comfortable life. Madam Speaker, Ontario has been a safe haven for many Ukrainians fleeing violence and persecution, and even for many who were seeking a better life. The first Ukrainian immigrants, beginning in 1891, were prominently agriculture workers. They traveled to Canada because they saw it as a place for opportunity and prosperity. Later, immigrants arrived here to escape fascism, communism, violence, persecution, and war. Ontario protected them and provided them opportunity. In return, these Ukrainian Canadians contributed positively to the social, cultural, political, and economical fabric of our province. The process of immigration and integration simplified the best of the Ontario multiculturalism. Unfortunately, Madam Speaker, for many Ukrainian Canadians, war and violence remain an ever-present challenge. In recent years, the unlawful invasion of Ukraine has wreaked havoc on that country. Many more Ukrainians have came to Canada for safety. Speaker, Ontarians stand firm in supporting the sovereignty of Ukraine and its right to defend itself. And we continue to call for an end of this unlawful war. Canada is an important safe haven for those fleeing conflicts and oppression. We embrace this multiculturalism and inclusivity. Speaker, I am very grateful for the many Ukrainian Canadians, individuals and organizations that have worked alongside me to make this Ukrainian Heritage Month possible. In particular, I would like to thank the organizations we managed to get reach off and we get replies from. Not to put aside anybody, but those are the organizations who came to us and helped us. Taras and Bodan of the Ukrainian Canadian Congress, Ontario Provincial Council. Peter of the Ukrainian Canadian Congress, Toronto Branch. Olea Nikolonenko, the Councillor General of Ukraine in Toronto. The Canadian Ukrainian Chamber of Commerce. The Ukrainian National Federation of Canada. The League of Ukrainian Canadians. The League of Ukrainian Canadian Women. The Ukrainian War Veterans Association. The International Organization of Ukraine Communities, Fourth Wave. The Canada-Ukraine Foundation. The Toronto Ukrainian Festival, Bloor West Village. The Ukrainian Youth Association of Canada. CYM Canada, the Ukrainian Youth Association. And the BLAST, Ukrainian Youth Association of Ontario. There is also many Ukrainian churches. This includes some who are with us today, including Bishop Bishko of Ukrainian Orthodox Church in Canada, Eastern Eprashi, and the Right Reverend Yanishvisky of the Ukrainian Catholic Eprashi of Toronto and Eastern Canada. Speaker, I also want to mention an important Ukrainian community in my own riding of Mississauga Erin Mills. Ivan Franco homes. Not only do they provide a place for Ukrainians to live when they retire, they also serve as a cultural hub for the Ukrainian Canadian community in my riding. I was first introduced to the Ukrainian Canadian community when I met with the community at Ivan Franco Homes 8-9 years ago. I sat with them, got to know them, and they explained to me about their concept of campus of care. In the years since then, I have learned more about Ukrainian community culture, art, and history, and about Ivan Franco Homes' vision of a connected community. Last year, we broke ground on the campus of care, a new long-term care home in Mississauga with 160 new beds. I am delighted to see construction continuing. I can't wait until we are able to open this facility very soon. I have even said that Ivan Franco Homes is where I would wish to retire one day. Thank you to Ivan Franco Homes for their hard work. Madam Speaker, there are many more Ukrainian organizations I haven't named that are continuing to make a positive impact throughout our province. Ukrainian Canadians are a tight-knit community. They work together, help one another, and serve a wider community as well. Thank you to every organization and individual that have contributed to this rich cultural heritage. Madam Speaker, Bill 215, the Ukrainian Heritage Month Act, would, if passed, give us another opportunity to recognize the amazing contribution of Ukrainian people here in Canada. September will be an exciting month for the Ukrainian Canadian community. Celebration will begin with the Independence Day of Ukraine and then continue for a full month with anniversaries such as September 7th, arrival of Ukrainians to Canada in 1891. Speaker, this great initiative and important to recognize the contribution and heritage of Ukrainian Canadians after all they have done for us. I'm very happy to express my support for the Ukrainian Canadian community in this small but meaningful way. I look forward to hearing my colleagues' discussion in further, and I thank them in advance for their support. And just final few seconds, I would like to address the Ukrainian Canadian community here in the House and abroad. You are the hope for your people in Ukraine. Resistance not only in the front line. Every Ukrainian, Canadian, or Ukrainian all over the world have a duty to support their nation and their people, to make sure that the people know that we are here and we stand alone with them. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
With this bill, we see that Ontario continues to stand with Ukraine. Ontario politicians express their solidarity and stand with Ukraine. For this, I want to thank you, and we really look forward to this bill being adopted soon.
So I moved the first reading, it's passed, second reading, and we debated it and passed. Now it's supposed to be referred to a committee where some of the organization might come and speak. Then it would get a third reading back in the House again. Then if it passed, it will get the real assent. But there is lots of efforts now currently to, as long as it's unanimously agreed on, we might be able to unanimously ask the House to give us consent to move it to third reading and move it to adjourn to get the real assent right away. So we'll see.